Hello and welcome to Angry Cow Poetry here at the beautiful Rialto Theatre. So glad you all made it out. A lot of new faces. One new face to this event that I have known for quite a long time. So glad you're in town and here for this. Tonight's feature I met performing in a slam and was amazing. And I saw you do at least one more slam. Was amazing again. Really excited to have our feature here with us tonight. Some of you very familiar with our feature. Some of you might be new. I think you're in for a treat. Please give a warm welcome to tonight's feature, Zuggie Tate.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Fine.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
So my name is Zuggie Tate. I'm just kind of, I think what I want to do tonight is, because it's an intimate setting, is to kind of have like a conversation, right? And so I want to give out some pieces just to get started. But I want you to think about things that you would like to hear or feel or images you would like to see. I have this running joke, a theory, and I haven't been stumped yet, but that I've written a poem about everything. And so what I'll do is I'll literally search in my drive to see that word or phrase or whatever it is, and we'll see what comes up. And it surprises me sometimes. It surprises, so it's a little fun thing. So throughout the night, just be thinking about that. I'll take suggestions throughout. But just to get started, this is one of my favorite pieces. It's a piece that actually got published. But it's called We Don't Talk About Suicide in the Hood. We praise the Lord, scream and holler like we trying to wake the dead. They must not have meant to do it. Acting like he just sleeping, pretending she ain't choose to be there, and we listen to men preach about God's plans. Them, right there in that casket, had a plan. Found their fastest way out when I was 14. My upstairs neighbor's son committed suicide. My mother say she heard the shot, heard the body drop, heard his spirit fly right by, like he was in a rush. And maybe he was still running. Maybe he had someplace better to be. Had to get there faster than a bullet, faster than a ticking clock. I too have youthfully dreamed of this better once. I thought about running faster than a passing thought once. I heard of a 12-year-old queer child. Heard his name was Nigel. And the news reporters say he killed himself. Say his bullies made him do it. And they call this a tragedy, call it an unfortunate act of God. And I remember thinking about this a lot. How lucky I was to have survived all this time. Thought myself blessed for not having been tempted away. However, now I run from another's hands. Worry some man will make me an early ghost. Send my spirit rushing wild to someplace better, whether he is draped in navy blue or sexual confusion. Either way, church folks will say, I deserved it. Or the devil made him do it. That my death will get covered up in hallelujahs and praise worship. And the preacher will say, God wanted this. And maybe he did. Maybe the man who kills me will be God, or at least treated like one. Whether him exonerated or my transness being blamed, in any case, I'll be the sinner. And maybe hell has a special place for me. Maybe this will be the first time I ever feel warm. And that thought scares me to death. That dying could be the only heat I'll have in this life, whether I choose it or someone chooses for me. What is suicide to a black trans girl? If I'm always blamed for my own murder, what is existing? If I'm always considered my own end in the hood? We don't talk about how life ain't always worth living. We simply try to live until it is, or until we can't help to keep from dying. Praise the Lord. Thank you. And then I think to go with another poem, this is another one of my favorites because, you know, I love my biblical imagery. But this poem is another poem that was published. It's called Wishful Pink. In my heart, I know a brighter day is waiting just beyond the horizon. But it's nighttime right now, and my feet can't carry me through the darkness. I am not fast enough to outrun the advance or the call of a prowling man whose teeth sharpen, eyes wilding with the moon. This night is an antebellum south. My North Star is time. The distance between me and freedom feels like light years. Insurmountable amounts of space. It's hard for me to say this, but I rarely speak outside of my home. Barely open my mouth when hollered at, lest my voice become a Judas. My body a fearful disciple, everything in this moment betraying me to a death at the hands of evil ass men in my heart. I know the breaking of a beautiful morning is racing towards me at the speed of light. I know that there will come a time when the world won't revolve against the orbits of my sisters and mine. I believe that one day we will take to the streets dawning to brand new day. I can feel this, true as warming sunlight. You can't convince me otherwise. I just pray that I am not the last brick holding back this dam. Hope that I get to see the promised land, and that I'm not just the bones my sisters carrying with them. Thank you. So I just gave those two kind of poems as like just an introduction to like who I write for and what I write about. I definitely write for a progressive future, for a more accepting future. I definitely write for Black trans women. So I feel like that's just a good introduction to who I am. But I don't want that to just be like a limitation. Like, so with that being said, I wanted to take my first word or phrase or thought or feeling that anybody might have wanted to hear something about, if anybody had one. Church. Okay. Okay, so that. Okay. That's fun because like I deal with church a lot, so and I feel like I want to take this in a direction. Let me see. Okay, I want to just type church in here, and I'm gonna just see. I want to let Google Drive decide, because the poem I'm thinking about is like, I have a poem, but I'm like, I want to see what Google Drive says, because okay, so it says this one. This one is a good one. Let me see. Okay, so the one that I saw was this one, and this is a favorite of mine. It's called Be Alright. Gospel pours out of the radio, serenades me and be alright. But I know everything ain't all, nor ever been right. Breathing in fresh dew and warming air, it's warm in our car. The light of dawn crashes through rearview mirror into fresh eyes, trying to catch another glimpse of sleep. We turn left into the church's parking lot. Exchange hollow highs and hellos on hollow ground with the false bottom gilded church. Bad people and me, church kid, dragging tired feet through failing doors and a crackling floor to find myself a seat near the rear. I am a thing unseen, evidenced only by a squeaking cue. The only eyes that were watching me were God's. I wasn't blessed with a pastor or a parent. Never forced a mic or a ministry. Never had a calling nor called on the other children, tithe and talent and good fortune. My only offering was smart, and smart only accompanied a mouth that said things it shouldn't. My words didn't know a child's place and often found their way into adult religion, told the truth, outing the devils around me, outing me each time. And so I learned the virtues of quiet thoughts and bitten tongue, tasted blood long before I tasted my first communion, spent many Sundays in a school that taught me stories of a broken people but a greater God. But God can't be great in a congregation held together loosely by more gossip than gospel, where a child's voice could fall to the wayside in a church smaller than a prayer.
All right.
And see, like, it's always funny because then it's like, oh, there's another poem. But that did remind me of something. There's this one poem that I really enjoy doing because I just love the nostalgia of it. But it's I always enjoy playing video games. Was more like Princess Zelda than I ever was Michael Jordan. And I wouldn't have to suppress my Switch playing a Nintendo Switch. Listen, Mario never called me a faggot. Peach and the other princesses would play with me. I never had to hide myself from Donkey Kong, and me being girly never scared Mr. Pac-Man away. Professor Oak would let me choose my own gender. Pikachu never judged. I could envision my true self on a Dreamcast. A PlayStation was the first time I got to feel a joystick vibrate. A Nintendo was the first time I got to hold a boy. Street Fighter would let me choose the best women characters, and I got to be them for 180 seconds. Longer than my father would ever allow me win a fight I never thought I could. The Sims would let me escape into my own world, made in my own image. I could have a world free from name calling. Ain't no sissies here. Ain't no fist waiting around the corner. And I don't have to worry about losing my family here. A father could have a husband and raise a happy child here. A mother could have a wife and a whole bunch of plant kids. I could make my perfect life here. Have my favorite pet, dream job, and perfect partner. I could have too many friends to draw and too many memories to count. Joyous, boundless, happy, and free, all mine, all safe so long as I save the game. And I win based off my own decisions. But my uncle, God bless his heart, will always say, why is that boy always playing them goddamn video games? And I wanted to tell him, I can't go outside. It's not safe for me out there. Because you know Mario, he ain't never called me a faggot. Thank you. Alright, so for people who just entered in, they're just catch you up to speed. Also, I'm not sure where I'm at on time.
You're good.
Okay. Because we're in a very intimate setting, like we're very close to one another, I want this to be like a conversation. So if there's something that you would like to hear a poem about, like a topic like love, heartbreak, or inspiration, or whatever, or if you want to just a poem that uses the word color, use the color, like, and let's just for scope. I haven't been stumped yet, and I've gotten some weird ones. So,
Are you requesting trying to be stumped?
So, actually, I am. Take it as a challenge. Take it as a moment to like pick somebody's brain about something that you might know or something.
I don't think.
Huh?
I got some. I don't think you got.
Okay.
I got the poem to fit it if you don't have it.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So what's the topic or what's the word or
Rock climbing.
rock climbing? I do have a poem.
What?
I'm gonna. So, and the reason why I know I have a poem about it is because. So, I got, okay, I'm just going to do this poem because I really like this poem. So, because you mentioned rock climbing, it made me immediately think of mountains.
Okay.
And there's this poem I actually wrote this year because, you know, as life happens, we go through breakups. And so this piece, just looking it up, is called Mountains. And you tell me, you be the judge of if you feel like this satisfies rock climbing.
I'm sure it does.
Okay. So this piece is called Mountains. The day I realized I couldn't move every mountain was the day I realized I couldn't make this man love me. No matter how hard I tried to be a good woman and listen to his every thorn with this world, I will not apologize for not being strong enough to tear down the walls around your heart. But oh, how I climbed daily to the top of your summit and scream my name into the chasm in your chest, hoping for an echo, praying for signs of life. Why were my confessions of love never good enough? And painfully, I may never know. But I release my claim on you. Go, be a free man. Roam to your heart's content. I pray that one day you will love someone better than you loved me. But I release the pain of regret that I missed out on my happily ever after with you. You were a good man. I will not make you a villain in this poem. Words matter. You taught me that. But your silence forced lessons on me I'll never forget. I wish you well. I wish your days be long and filled with laughter and joy. I will love again, grow and be better for having loved you and for having lost your heart, my love.
I'd go literal.
Yeah. So you wanted literal rock climbing.
Well, I just know what I've got up on my screen for what I would have shared.
Oh, okay, definitely, yeah. Oh, because
I've got one. My son. This is my son's home, but he was the first one to read the Rock and Recovery scholarship.
Ah, nice.
For the summit. He
Nice.
was the first one to get that one. This is the poem, and now he's a rocket engineer for working for the Department of Defense.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah. So your transition and understanding. He wrote he had Asperger's and a couple other things, and he said, "You don't see me," so I'll read it.
Nice. I'm excited to hear it. Okay, so that poem, because it's interesting because, like I said, you go through relationships. And one thing, there's this poem that I actually really love because it kind of looks at the relationship but from a different perspective. Literally, because it's from the perspective of an inanimate object. I'm trying to find the name of this. Okay, and so this poem is called Single Ravaged Rose. Time has not been kind, neither that hands that received me, a gift, a token of love left to dry, withered symbol of a relationship in crisis. The relationship itself has died. Yet here I am, vase-bound, fire-prone, my red has curdled bloody, my thorns have chipped away into nails. Crucifixion was never the fate I first saw. Never thought I'd be an eyesore. Every day I silently nag for water. The water never comes. How careless, how cruel. A flower of wreckage, bloom in the reverse. The little death of being forgotten, my only pride. Being a placation, mistaken for a cure by a man who never understood the problem. So, we're out of time?
You want to do one more?
One more. Okay, we can let the last one be another challenge or suggestion. Anybody have a word or a suggestion?
Hope.
Hope. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. So I already have a poem in my head, but I want to see what the word itself was up. Okay. Let me see. So I'm going to this document. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm just going to do a hard search for the word. Fine. Sorry. I feel like technology knows when it's being watched, and so it gets performance anxiety.
It's a poem right there. Technology performance anxiety.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Okay, this one. So I think this is befitting in using the word, but also being on brand with it. But the title of this poem is "The Sound of Repairing" in 2 parts. 1. My heart from the outside looks abandoned, companioned only by cobwebs and leaking. So many rush by lest the empty catches a hold of them too. And my heart howls as air echoes wildly through the hollow of it. Some have tried to tear it down purely out of necessity. Few have tried to enter, but when they looked inside, all they saw was break and disappointment. A disappointment so strong it ruined a childhood so deprived. It started a drought so long, my heart has weathered into immovable granite. Black and tuned to all my water when I say, I don't cry. I mean, emotions are boulders I'm always trying to push up the hill. Cherry-sized peels, cautionary tales I've been taught to swallow whole. All of this violence I've been shown to lash against my own heart. When I say I don't cry, I'm saying I wish I could. Hope that one day tears aren't a journey. That crying isn't something I snuff out before it's ever given room to shine. When I say I don't cry, I more so mean I see my own tears like you see UFOs. That's almost like never. But when I do witness them, I can't believe it. Reminders that I'm not the dead river, but the dormant water song that will one day flow again without obstruction too. When no one is around and a tree falls, does it cry out for help? When I self-destruct in the comfort of my own home, does anybody need to pay audience to this wreckage? Are my hands enough to stand me up again? 3 weeks ago I fell, and I've been having the damnedest time trying to get up. struggling to pull together my branches and again form a tree, to put two arms under myself and push. But in the darkness of my drawn shades, I pieced together my sequoia heart. And although no one was around to hear this sound, you can believe it resounded like a symphony. Thank you.
Are y'all ready for some more poetry? All right, we have lots of great folks on the open mic. Some I'm very familiar with, some new to us here. We're going to start with one I'm brand new to, but he's not brand new to poetry. Been writing for, what'd you say?
1982.
Since 1982. So been in this a long time. Please welcome to the mic, Bill Stone.
I'm going to share the poem that my son wrote for the summit for the first entry into their rock and recovery, because of what she was the first poem she read. So I figured that this would go right into what she was doing about understanding and sort of being invisible and people not realizing what was going on. Yeah. And then I will share some of mine. A little background on me: 25 years teaching high school science for Akron Public Schools. And the first 25 years, I was a backcountry ranger for the National Park Service. My first job in the park was working on the big Yellowstone fire. I've hiked the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. I spent a year hiking across New Zealand and South Pacific. I lived in a fire tower for a year. So I'm coming from a whole different perspective. I mean, there was some times where I didn't see another human being for months.
Wow.
Okay, and I was very happy with that.
It does sound tempting sometimes, yeah.
Honestly.
Or just talked over that on the radio saying, nope, there's no fires, goodbye. All right, so the first one was by Zachary Edward Stone, which is my youngest son. You don't see me. You don't see me, but I am here. I walk the same halls and take the same classes. I breathe the same air. I'm invisible, at least I feel it. Like it? You don't feel what I do. You don't see me, but I am here. I want to have friends just like you do. No one really sees me for who I am. You don't feel the way I do. You don't see me, but I am here. I was accomplish things by myself, but sometimes I need help. It's hard to be the kid that is different. Do you feel the way I do? You don't see me, but I'm here. They say that women are from Venus and men are from Mars. I feel like I'm from outer space. Do you feel my way? Do you? You don't see me, but I'm here. I still have little dreams that someday I will fit in. The puzzle will be solved. Do you feel me? Do you feel the way I do? Do you see me? But I am here. I'm graduating high school just like you. I've reached my first goal of many. I'm excited about my future. Do you feel the way I do? Do you see me? But I am here. I am different. I am odd. I am smart. I am brave. Too bad you couldn't see me. Do you feel the way I do?
Right.
So when you think about doing this, like I said, he was on a whim. He decided to put in the poem for the first time they asked for the rock and recovery, and it was a whole different thing that they thought they were going to get when they got this poem. And when he graduated from college with his aerospace engineering degree, not last June, but a year ago, they did another story on him because he was a success story for the whole concept of this. And now he had graduated with his bachelor's in environment or in aerospace engineering. Awesome. So, and again, this was a surprise to us when he submitted this, or he gave this to us and asked us to submit this to the thing because it was for a scholarship and hey, why not send it? And he won. It caught us totally off guard. We didn't realize he felt this way because he had friends in school. He had things. We just didn't realize how much different and how much of an outsider he felt.
Yeah.
And I think he would have felt even more of one if he hadn't been at the STEM high school at the time. Because there was a lot of kids similar to him, which made it a little bit easier on him. This one was written in 1992. I was in a English comp class, and they said we had to write something, and I was sitting in Bierce Library, and it was a cold, snowy day, and there was a elderly lady. They'd come out of the cold, and I sat there and looked at her, and I was just looked at her, and this poem came out. The lonely library vigil of one elderly woman. This woman probably stood 5'4" in her youth, but now was 5 foot because her body was arched by the burden of her many years. Her body showed these burdens in the feeble appearance and movement. Her hair was snow white and very thin for what it could see from under her crocheted hat. Her face was one of a person of great warmth, love, and character and experience. The wrinkles that dominated her face were not hard wrinkles, but soft, wise ones that outlined her dark, soulful eyes that could melt an iceberg. Her mouth and lips were but thin pink lines. A smile shone upon them. The hands of this woman were feeble and bony from years of work. Every vein and bone was defined in great detail. Her clothes hung upon her smallest frame like clothes on a scare hoe, but these clothes were worn with pride and dignity. The years had been very harsh to her physical being, but her soul shined like a lighthouse on a moonless night. I observed this woman only for about 5 minutes in the main, well actually it was the Akron Public Library, a branch on a cold snowy day in late September 1983. But a short 5 minutes, she made an impression that lasted a lifetime. I don't know her name, nor did I ever speak to her or ever see her again, and all the time at Akron or at the library. So this is dedicated to the nameless woman and to all those nameless faces that we remember whenever we're a reason. Every time I read it, I get kicked. I haven't read it in a long time. One of the jobs I held was a ranger on Isle Royale National Park. Isle Royale is the island in Lake Superior that, if you think of the wolf, the Lake Superior looks like a wolf. The eyeball is Isle Royale. It is the least visited park in the contiguous United States. What they get in a year, Yellowstone gets in a day. Okay? And one of my jobs, while I was there for 3 years, and to sort of give a predecessor on this thing, the last time I was on an island was 1992. And I talked to a couple of people that came off the island this year, and I told them, well, I used to be a ranger there. And they said, yeah, and we stayed in the Daisy Farm campground, which was what I was used to, what I was in charge of. They said, yeah. When the ranger came down to check, they talked about this crazy guy that used to come running out of his cabin and take a bath every morning in the lake. And that you know, he had a fox that would walk. His doors were always open. The wildlife were always walking into his cabin. And me, I go, I'm guilty. All right, so Ranger Bill. The Northern Lights of seeing queer sights, but the queerest ever did see, where I was service. Now I was on the shores of Lake Superior when I did a talk at Daisy Farm. Heavenly fire in the sky, the Northern Lights were a vision of inspiration, imagination, and legend. They're the souls of unborn children playing football with a walrus skull. They're the torches held by the dead to aim in the winter hunt. They are said to be alive, respond to whistle, and run together as spat upon, and touch the mountain tops. They are woven through the history of the northern inhabitants of the earth. They appear as curtains of translucent light, red, green, and white, fireworks of the gods. They are moved by great unfelt solar winds. They are as bright as a harvest moon and as soft as the wind of smoke. They have a rhythm all their own, the aurora borealis. Okay? It's easy to invoke a feeling of awe and tenderness. The most remarkable effect they seem to have, however, is to draw the viewer's emotion up and out of themselves, because they throw the ski into a third dimension in such vast scale and in such beauty way that it makes the emotions of self-pity impossible. That quote is from Arctic Dreams by Barry Lopez, but it was part of my presentation when I did my talk on Northern Lights. So I had one on rock climbing. I'll give my rock climbing one.
All right.
The climber speaks of the mountain. I know the mountain. I have known the mountain, ancient as the world and old as the bones that support my body. My soul has grown strong upon the mountain. I climbed the hill. In my life it was young. I placed my tent among the windswept peaks, and they lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the rock wall and climbed it to its top. I heard the singing of the Mount Stream when I went to the west. I've seen the rugged peaks turned all golden with the sunset. I know the mountain, the ancient rugged mountain. My soul grows strong like the mountain. And that was in 2014.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Some great experiences there. Appreciate you sharing. Give it up for Bill Stone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out. Next to the mic, I believe first time on this mic, not you just yet. You are coming soon. But I think very first to the mic here, but we've shared spaces several places before. Excited to have you here. Please welcome to the mic, Middle Child.
How y'all feeling tonight?
Good.
We get a little more energy than that. How y'all feeling tonight? Word. I love it. I love it. My name is Middle Child, and I'm a multifaceted artist, jack of all trades, master of none. I do a little bit of everything here and there. And tonight, I'm going to do you some poetry.
All right.
As Keith explained to you, we've known each other from various spaces throughout the Northeast Ohio area. And this poem I'm going to perform was actually from the Blacks Museum up in Cleveland, at the East Cleveland Library.
Yeah.
So, this poem here is called Rivers. I know rivers that I've never swam, waters that I've never tread, yet when my reflection ripples in the current, I'm aware they also know who I am. Rivers that carry lineages from the deltas where the Mississippi meets the sea, mineral trails that follow from Gulf currents to Morton sprinkling the floors in the kitchen, the deposit of sediment fertilize the ground beneath your feet so your harvest will always be plentiful. The rivers carry these amongst its banks, waves that put the great in migration, added the neighbor to your hood, the blackberry bushes, juices from the ripest fruits, run down the cheeks of the youth, ode to the rivers, streams, and creeks. Though we never got to formally meet, I know you, as familiar to me as the tracing in my palms be, as familiar as the scent of mint leaves picked from in between weeds, strewn amongst the yard where garden beds that were made from roots to rest, where crops of sustenance laid their head, the river feeding into us. We be the tributaries, for they knew us long before we knew the paths they carved through the valleys.
Right.
So, at that first poem right there, let's see. I'll hit y'all with a little throwback. I'm gonna do a poem I wrote back in, this had to have been about what, 2019? I was in high school. So, I usually don't do backstories, but fuck it. So, I was in high school and I dated this girl, and things ended terribly between us. Ooh, child, I was heartbroken. It was not a fun time to be me. But hey, I got some art out of it, so it wasn't all that bad. If I couldn't get a poem out of it, man, that would have been insult to injury. But I got this poem, and it's called Flowers. You told me for the longest you couldn't smell flowers. I wasted ink on love poems trying to scribe perfect lines. I wasted hours going broke from letting you spend my extra time. I wasted headspace saving memories with someone who was never really mine. You told me for the longest time you couldn't smell flowers. Misery loves company because they always hit me up during the most inconvenient moments. When you're most vulnerable, it seeps like rain puddles in the potholes of a heart that's been broken. You told me for the longest you couldn't smell flowers. But you could smell gasoline, yet you couldn't smell the noxious fumes of your own toxicity that was slowly choking me. You were the oxygen that helped me breathe simultaneously. You were the same oxygen that increased the flames that consumed me. You told me for the longest you couldn't smell flowers. For a moment, I knew how every love song I played felt. I felt every lyric for them old R&B jams, what my parents call real music. Now my car rides are silent because I'd rather not reminisce. Why subject myself to the taunts of a car radio when it knows damn well can we talk for a minute had such significance. You told me for the longest you couldn't smell flowers. You were the weed killer to my dandelions that bloomed for you. My love was a bouquet you forgot to put in the vase, left out until the roses wilted and the violets were no longer blue. You dethorned my rose and ripped off his roots, yet I'm the one who neglected you. You told me for the longest time you couldn't smell flowers. I just wish you could have smelled how beautiful the daisies were before you pushed them.
Thank you.
All right, give it up one more time for middle child. There we go.
I haven't even drink yet.
Still time. It's still time. All right, next to the open mic, we have one of our most faithful regulars. In fact, Ed usually gets here before I do. Sits down and starts writing. And sometimes we're blessed with pieces from that very night. I'll let Ed share whether that's the case tonight or not. But please welcome to the mic, Ed Amann.
Seems to be a night for little backstories.
Yeah.
Sometimes, all these short things that I read are things that don't quite grow up to be songs. I'm primarily a musician. And funny, I do all the music from memory, but I get up here and have to read this because I ain't done it enough to memorize it.
Yeah.
And yes, I did write tonight.
Hey.
Deletions. It's very hard to reach completion. You could just be a small deletion. Like those two impeachments of that one are parts of Constitution now undone. History pages in the shredder. Tried to tell folks past was better. Or people pulled from schools and courts because someone just fell out of sorts.
Hey.
Have you ever been in a really scary situation where things are happening fast and you might not come out of it alive? That gave me this. Don't panic. It's like the slowness born of urgency when the coming crash is certain. Every second takes an hour. You forget the coming hurting. All there is what to do, so you do the best you can. You just might make it through. If you don't, it's not the plan. And it seems like lately I've been angry. And so I come here and do this so the anger don't turn into hate. While life is going on, some nightmares come by daylight while life is going on. You take a break, turn on the TV, and find your country's going. It's really, truly not your fault. But then it is yours too. You let them take you unaware due to things you didn't do. You didn't try to be informed. You didn't take the time to vote. Your politicians never saw letters that you never wrote. Anyhow, I'll be here doing the other side of things on the 23rd.
Hey.
Doing music, 5:30 to 7.
All right. Give it up one more time for Ed Amann. And Ed did not tell you his website, which is one of my favorite website titles. It's www.edmanwalkin.com. So, there's a couple really cool events coming up apart from Ed playing here as well. But I'm going to let some other folks tell you about it when they come up because they're even more involved in the planning of this than I am, but I'm happy to be a part of these. So next up to the open mic, another regular, one of the people out there building community and doing events that helped get this event going in the long run. Event I was a part of that you put out for a long time, and it kind of led to what we do here now. Please welcome to the mic, Theresa, Göttl, Brightman!
August 17th, it's a Sunday, at the main Akron Library downtown. It's a free event, parking is free, come out at 2 o'clock. We will be releasing the 40 over 40 poetry anthology. We have about 40 poets who were included in the anthology. We'll be reading that day. It's going to be a big poetry celebration. Please come out, support the poets. all the sales of the book will be for sale, and sales of the book are all going to benefit the Akron-Canton Regional Food Bank.
Right.
Which, if you have been paying any attention to the news at all, as Ed told us in his poems, our food banks have more need than ever right now, and their federal funding has been cut. They are suffering. The people who rely on them are suffering. So come on out, support poetry, support art, support the food bank. August 17th. When is it?
August 17th.
What time? 2 o'clock.
Oh.
Okay. At the library. So thank you. I hope to see you there. And I got one short poem to read you guys. Since we're doing backstories. There is a thin strip of land between our driveway and our neighbor's driveway, and there's a little hedge, but there's also one tree that it grew there by mistake. This is apology to the mulberry tree. I know you don't belong here, in the crush between concrete, planted by the magical chance of a bird dropping, a volunteer misfit woven through the cypress hedge. I'm sorry for this inhospitable place constricting you to grow tall and narrow and twisting rather than low and spreading with ease deep boughs, heavy with gifts of tea leaves and fruit. You are not made for this world into which you were born, and I'm sorry I didn't see you until now. You screamed your divinity, calling down your patron goddess, and lined your crossroads bridge with illuminated white, pink, and red bulbs of sugar, a conduit from this profane earth to the heavens. My holy friend, I am sorry this place was marked before I was born, determining the confined direction of your growth. It's only fair your branches remain out of reach, that only the jays and squirrels benefit from your abundance. I'm sorry I can't keep you safe forever, that someday people will decide that your life is not worth inconvenience. You don't deserve this. But for today, my holy broken guardian, I pledge you peace. I pray that before anyone decides your life is unsustainable, that we who made it so will have learned to harmonize and correct, to give us all a chance to thrive.
All right, one more time for Theresa Brightman. I was honored to be selected for one of the 40 over 40, so I will be there when? Anybody remember? Y'all are good. Come on out. Constance Plumley, who's another regular here, is also selected there, along with a lot of other great. Shanine Harris, who's a former teacher, is in the book. Is that right, or is that just as a judge tag?
Yeah, Shanine Harris will be in the book.
Yeah, so lots of great folks in there. Please come out for that. So next up to the mic, another first time to this event here. Please welcome to the mic, AIM.
Hi, how are y'all tonight?
Right.
So I've only done this. This is my third time.
Woo!
Hopefully,
Let's go.
y'all enjoy it. So this one I wrote June 30th, 2024. And it kind of reminded me of your son's poem. So, normal. A word I can't relate to. A word that is more than foreign to me. The dictionary defines it as conforming to a standard. But how can you live up to a standard you'll never understand? You see me, the thought of normal might come to mind. But if you see beyond the superficial, carve at the exterior, pull me up to the light, you'll see I'm nowhere near what they call normal. I'm trapped in a prison that is forever binding. I smash my fists on these glass walls. If I just keep fighting, if I just keep banging, if I just keep screaming out for help, I'll break through. But there is no escaping. My fate is sealed. This person, this girl, this woman, I don't know her. I can't see her. I can't feel her. Is this what they call normal? When I put on a facade, can the world tell? Can they see that I'm not one of them? Will they spill my secret? Will I be shamed? I am the girl with no name. Thank you. I have one more, and I wrote it tonight, this afternoon.
Hey.
And it's based off, so I've been reading a lot of books, and listening to music that go with those books. They put playlists in them. So it kind of is based off of that. I'm not toxic, I promise. I'm not here to save you. I'm no savior. I'm no saint. With every touch, your soul is mine to paint. I'll use my fingertips to outline the parts you try to keep hidden. I'll bring your shadows to life, feeding them your color. I'll keep them on a leash, waiting for release. This is not a fairy tale. I'm not your happy ending. With every turn, your ink will seep into my bloodstream, leaving your pages illegible, rewriting your history. Plot twist, I'm the climax, watching your downfall. I am the manipulator, my words of a siren song, leading you to the edge of a pending doom. The ledge will crumble, swallowing you whole. I am not your lover, I am your jailer.
All right, now.
Nailed it.
Hey. Oh, I adjusted that. I think we're the same height. Give it up one more time for Amy. We have, I think, 4 more on the open mic. I'm going to go next, and then we'll bring up the other 3. For many of us, certainly for me, it comes time to this event. I don't know, Ed, if you have planned out what you're going to read before you get here, other than what you read right new. But I like drivers, like, I should figure out what I'm going to do on the open mic if I don't have something brand new. And we have one of our open mic, the last one on the open mic tonight, used to also run an event in the area. And as part of this event, we started doing these little mini slams that were called sword fights, lowercase s, capital W, writing nights. And Azriel encouraged us for these to take on a character, wear a costume, like go as far as crazy as she wanted. And that's where Angry Cow was born. In costume and everything I created. With
glorious.
Thank you. And I don't wear the costume very much anymore, but Angry Cow Poetry has lived on. So I'll do the piece that started that since Azriel is here with us. Happy cows? Are you fucking nuts? You take our babies. You spill their guts. You drink the food we create for them. And when that shit slows, you make us pregnant again. Then you take that baby, and the next one too. Then soon enough, we're not profitable for you. There ain't no retirement in happy cow land. You slit our throats. Call it consumer demand. Now that's fucked up. But you don't stop there. You pile on lies to hide the despair. Cows give us milk. Bitch, please, fuck you. It isn't a gift when it's stolen from you. Humanely raised. Well, isn't that sweet? As you cut us apart while we hang from our feet. We need calcium. Try chewing some greens. Leave me alone. Eat your goddamn beans. Vegetables are yucky. Boo fucking who? So you take my baby? Then you eat me too? You do this to us time and again. Then you draw a picture of me with a big old grin? You put our slaughtered bodies on top of your plates and you expect me to have a smile on my face? I'm an angry cow. What's this happy horse shit? You want to eat me and think I'm okay with it. I'm an angry cow. I'm tired of your lies. I'm tired of being served with a bucket of fries. I'm the angry cow. I'm back for more. Cause you see my titties and you want to pour mammal milk at 38? Damn, your infancy is running late. I'm the angry cow. You would be too. If they looked at you and wanted to chew. Happy cow. You made that shit up to ease your guilt at slicing us up. Appreciate that. So we'll go from that much older piece to the newest piece I've written. Somewhat new shit. I did read it last month, so if you were here last month, many of you were not. If you were here last month, you got a piece of this one, and if not, and if so, you'd hear it again, or whatever. And those who weren't here for the first time. So one of the forms of poetry that I really like and would like to write more of is a contrapuntal. And that's written in 2 columns. You read the first column, you got one piece. You read the second column down, you got a second piece. And then you combine the columns reading left to right and connect them and create kind of something different at the end. Open heart. Love is a pounding heart, creating your favorite memories, the promise of unending tomorrows. The rest of your life, just seeing her face will fill you with excitement. Love will remain. Surgery. A large incision in the chest, exposed by the scalpel, clogged arteries bypassed after decades of neglect. A newly patched heart held together by thin stitches. Lingering pain will weaken over time. Scars are to be expected. Open heart surgery. Love is a large incision in the chest, a pounding heart exposed by the scalpel, creating clogged arteries. Your favorite memories bypassed after decades of neglect. The promise of unending tomorrows. A newly patched heart. The rest of your life held together by thin stitches. Just seeing her face will fill you with lingering pain. Excitement will weaken over time. Love will remain. Scars are to be expected. My list is over there. I'm calling you next. Next up to the open mic, not only one of the biggest supporters of this event here, Jim and Georgianne here almost every single time. It's amazing. We love your support. But also just a great builder of community. There's an event coming up that Jim has spearheaded. I'll let Jim tell you about. But also, the very next night after this, almost every time, first Thursday of the month, Jim plays in the back room here. He brings in 2 artists, 2 other singers, and they play together. They play each other's music. They cover 2 songs of each other's each time. Really cool event. So I do encourage you to come back out tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, right here at the Rialto. But please welcome to the mic, Jim Ballard.
I know.
I know you know how to adjust the
You always
mic.
have to lower it for me. All right. As you said, we have an event coming up, and I want to tell you about it just briefly. September 21st, first day of autumn, we have put together, in conjunction with Indivisible Akron. If you know Indivisible all across the world, Indivisible Akron is the local chapter here, and we put together a concert for the evening, which is going to include several songwriters and several poets, kind of back and forth with each other for the evening, doing their social justice works, including Keith, and it's going to be at the First Congregational Church of Akron, which is a beautiful, beautiful church, but it looks more like a concert venue. It's really a beautiful place. But we hope you'll come out, look it up on Facebook. It's out there now. There's a Facebook event. If you can come out, we want to. It's an indivisible protest, but it's not with signs and cars honking in the intersection. It's with music and poetry and speakers. So we hope you'll come out that evening. In any case, I want to say this one. I'm a songwriter, and that's a little bit different than a poet. It knows both.
Yes.
And once in a while, I look at some of my lyrics and I go, "Oh, that's a poem." So I have this one here that I want to say for you, and then I'll get out of your way. This is a song called "We." My band and I did on an album a few albums ago. We breathe in. We breathe out. We see sin. We sing shout. We live long. We love strong. We right wrong. Right now. And we breathe in. And we breathe out.
Thank you, Jim. Let's give it up again for Jim Ballard. We have two more to the open mic. Next up, we have someone who came to this event. It's been a little while. It's been 2 years now? Are you serious? 2 years ago, came, I think, back-to-back events and stood up on the mic and, correct me if I'm wrong, had written poetry for a long time but had never performed it, and came up and blew us all away, not just with your poetry, but like the way you set it up and your storytelling, and found this great community with us. And other things have kept you away for a while, and we are so excited that you're back. Makes me so happy that you're here. Please welcome to the mic, Gigi!
Fill that bucket, people.
Yeah.
I just have to take this in for a second. I love this room.
Yeah.
First time I came here was June and then, May and then June of 2023. I came here after being unexpectedly widowed and trying to live because tomorrow is not promised. And I was doing lots of things on my bucket list. And coming to a poetry slam was one. Reading at one was not. But I had just gotten a little bit burned by a 6-month long distance love affair. And tonight I'll make history because this will be my first Angry Cow poetry reading that is not X-rated. Filled with sexual innuendo and double entendres.
Those were good too, though.
Thank you. There will be none of that. But hopefully it will still maybe touch your heart somewhere if you've experienced loss. And there's plenty more where my poems, the universe meant for me to be a poet, because can this happen? Can you just name poems Spring Fling with Mr. Scene and it really is true? Can you name poems Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am at the Poetry Slam and it's true? And there's more where that came from, because right now I'm writing I Am Lost in Mr. Jack Frost and it's true. The universe wants me to be a poet. But this is not going to make you laugh. That's the backstory. This is the loss, because after about 6 months of trying to live, because I could die tomorrow because my heart feels so broken, I couldn't hide from my grief anymore. I came here, I fell in love with this room, I fell in love with this community, I fell in love with all of the people here. I still am Facebook friends with everybody and love seeing what they're up to. But depression hit hard. And I have to say thank you to Keith for being such a true friend, for someone that I only met in person twice. For all of these 2 years, he has never given up on me. He always checks in on me. He always gave me hope and encouragement. He never pressured me. I'm from the other side of Mahoney County, Keenfield Fair, if any of you know what that is. I'm from over there, so driving here with anxiety, depression, and in winter weather, I just wasn't getting here. But I wanted to so bad, and I loved getting to see everybody on video, and I thank you for putting those up, and thank you for encouraging me until I finally was well and strong to get here. So I wrote my third poem. I was going to read you, one of these racy poems, but those will come up. Tonight has to be clean. After I got depressed, I started to really try to face my grief, and I wrote this poem just about exactly 2 years ago after my first 2 readings, and I had intended to come back 3 months consecutively, and I just got so much anxiety and panic attacks that I couldn't drive. So I'm going to read you this poem that I wrote about losing my husband. And if it's okay if I say, I introduced myself to Carol, and we immediately bonded over our shared sorrow and our loss. So for anybody who's lost someone, I hope maybe this won't make you laugh, but maybe it will touch your heart somewhere and be healing for you. And I call this one, I Wanted You to Stay. I was not prepared for you to disappear into whatever lies beyond the veil of death. And it shatters me to think that this could be my new reality forever. Going through life while I draw breath alone. My soul feels shattered permanently, still longing for your physical presence in perpetuity. I walk around our home with a beating heart, but I feel like most of me has died along with you. I am in disbelief at death. It has overpowered us so suddenly, so unexpected. You were my everything, and my world changed in an instant, overnight. Now that you are gone, my heart and my home feel gone too. I feel as if I've lost my true home in you. I no longer have a place or a body or a nuclear family where I feel like I belong. I can't wake up from this bad, awful dream since the moment of losing you. I wanted you to stay. I wanted you to live. I wanted you to heal. I wanted our simple life together at home to go on and on forever. Even though there were times that were rough and I didn't know how I would live with you, I knew I could never imagine living without you. We stayed and we tried and we hung on in marriage for the good times, splitting firewood, blowing leaves, sitting by a fire outside under the stars with our dog at our feet. I lose you over and over again every time I cannot do these things together with you. Every time I'm ready to share coffee for two or the lunch I made for you and you are not sitting in your favorite recliner chair in the living room, I lose you over and over again. I miss you over and over again. Every lost morning kiss, every faded inside joke, every hug goodnight now absent from my life. I long to touch your skin, to hear your boisterous laugh, to know how much you loved me, to see the tender look in your eyes. I miss the sacredness of it all. I miss how brilliant you were at fixing everything and how neatly your skills and talents dovetailed with mine. I miss our pet names for each other, the meals we shared, the shows we watched, the chores we did together. We forged a beautiful life, a beautiful home, a beautiful family. I miss doing your fucking laundry. We had it all, and despite the pain and the hurt and the adversity of us growing up together, we learned how to heal our wounds. We were so committed to trying to figure out how to get through life's ups and downs. The one constant is that we kept coming back to one another, trying to refine what does it mean to truly cherish someone. We overcame so much, and we learned to love so well, compared to where we started from with our trauma bonds. We never gave up on each other. And as the years went on, leaving was an option, but neither of us could truly entertain it, because life without one another seemed unfathomable to both of us. So we laid our hearts on the line, we managed our shortcomings, and we survived the hurts, the misunderstandings, the disappointments, the addiction, the anger, the abuse. And still, I'm so grateful we stayed the course. Because you left behind a legacy with so many wonderful memories, a stockpile of remembrance for me to cherish. And I'm trying to be grateful for them all, more than I'm hurt and lonely now that you were taken away from me. I'm so sad that addiction and aging diminished your will to live and take care of yourself. I wanted you to heal. I wanted you to live with so much fullness and so much ease so that you could stay with me, so that you could stay with all of us for so much longer than you did. And the hole in my heart persists. Deep cracks and crevices exist now, where grief seeps in and out in pulsatile waves, involuntarily permeating my every cell every day. My tears well up with heaviness. My lungs exhale grief while my heart and chest ache. Tears flow and flow, heaving and sobbing with every breath, realizing over and over again, now I know what a wailing widow means. You are gone for the rest of this life without so much as a goodbye in an instant. It pains me to know that I may continue to experience the anxiety of this perpetual loneliness. It pains me to know that you are irreplaceable. This man that I called husband for all of my adult life dissipated back to the source and all. And any semblance of control that I thought I had by trying to take care of you better than you wanted to take care of yourself was only an illusion of grandeur on my part. I spent my life loving you with every fiber of my being, and you were ripped away from me without my consent, vanished into the portal of the unknown. This is the endless loop of trauma with unanswered questions that tears me up with angst and pain inside at night. These are the questions that I cannot answer, that cannot be redeemed with satisfying answers. And I doubt that I'm ever going to find peace unless somehow, someday, I'm reunited with you beyond this world. But yet, in my reverent agnosticism, I want to hope that that will happen heart to heart one day, skin to skin, soul to soul, in the highest version of ourselves, somewhere, sometime, someday. But I can't say that I really believe that. I don't know that it will ever happen beyond this world in a sacred mystery of unknowing. Hashtag truth. The probability is high that this was our permanent ending without a goodbye. It's so painfully final to me. You are my home, you are my heart. I repeat your words again and again. Look at all that we created here together. And I look at it all. Our lives, our family, our home. It's so beautiful. It overwhelms me with awe to see what we created together. And I want to live in that sacred awe of love and life and family and home and nature again. But I wanted it together with you forever. I'm still so undescribably sad that our earthly life is over together. I wanted you to stay. I wanted you to live. I wanted you to heal. I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay. I wanted you to live. I just don't know who I am without you. Nothing lasts forever, but I wanted you to stay.
How do you not love Gigi? Yeah. Give it up for Gigi. I imagine there's no one in this room who's not dealt with loss, maybe not in a romantic relationship, long-term relationship, marriage, things like that. But I think all of us have, at some point in our lives, dealt with some pretty significant loss. Thank you so much for sharing. We have one more to the open mic before we bring back our fabulous feature. Some of you from right here in Akron. Some of you traveled a little further. One person in this room has you beat. This person is now from China, but what back here with us in Ohio used to call Ohio home, but it's been how many years now?
Almost six.
Almost six. So glad you're in town. Glad the timing coordinated. You can be down here for an event. Used to go to Azriel's events all the time, and now I'm excited to have Az here. Please welcome to the mic, Azriel Johnson.
All right, I want to do two oldies and two newies. Newies, that sounds gross. And if you like the newies, they're in this book, and I have like 15 and I'll just give it to you if you want. I'm trying to get rid of stuff because I have to go back, and I'm trying to not need a storage unit in the future. Okay, so this used to be a signature piece that I would do a lot, especially if I were doing features, which I am doing a feature on August 8th, which is this Friday in Maple Heights. If you are interested, come talk to me and I will give you all the information. Okay, so this one's called Poemaholic. Hi, I'm Azriel and I'm a poemaholic. I've been intoxicated now for 26 years. Some years more word drunk than others, but always with a pencil close by and a paper to spill words onto. A senryu is the best way to start a day. This is Wake and Bake. I drink of life itself, and my hangovers always leave me sore and satisfied. Hair of the dog, just another drink of the words that make me think and feel and realize my realize are blurry without the clarity poetry can bring. Let me slam another slam piece. Let me sing a little sonnet. I want a 3-minute time limit. I want 14 lines to freedom. I'll admit, I'm a cheap drunk. Even bad poetry can lead me to ecstatic musings of my own. If it's a night of performing or hosting shows, I can be the life of the party or the chick magnet when I'm on stage. If there are books to be peddled, I can give a contact buzz to anyone I meet. All they need is to hear or read the words I write or speak. All I want is to spread the love of poetry to everyone I meet, to everyone I see, to everyone who breathes. I'll gargle a gozzle, I'll write sestinas and cantinas, I'll put an envoy on my elegy to ballads about odes. Here's a completely necessary caesura. Passion is contagious, you can spread it when it's real. This poetry's to reveal what's brewing beneath the surface, providing me with substance. If I lost the gift of poetry, there would be nothing left of me. I'd be a hollow husk, a book with pages ripped out, left lying on the ground, blowing in the breeze. Oh, let me please, sir, please, oh, let me rhyme. Let me do it again, just one more time. My name is Azriel, and I'm a poemaholic. I'm not seeking recovery. I'm reveling in my addiction, my obsession, my play, my passion, my poetry.
Right.
So before I do the next one from this book, the publisher of this book, Poets Haven, they're also on my shirt, Vertigo Xavier, he passed away about a month before I left for China, and I was going to go see his grave today, but I'm having issues and I couldn't go. I don't know. But anyway, so partially a tribute to Vertigo today, so R.I.P. Vertigo. So I have another book, and I was going to read one from that book, but I don't like that book as much as I like this one. And also, the other poet who was with me when I wrote, or just before I wrote this one, Theresa was at this event too. We both read. Our mutual friend Deborah, she asked us to read poetry at this thing, and I thought it was kind of absurd, especially what happened with Göttl. So that's #backstory. Okay, it's called Hospice Martyrdom. Millions of people die in the name of God. Millions of species of animals die before we even know they exist. But this misguided moron is going to martyr 50 butterflies in the name of a business masquerading as a servant of a dying god. They gave us candles for the ceremony, which my comedian's mind immediately turned into a lightsaber. Flashes of Star Wars fill my head. I guess it's better than pretending to be Dr. Claw. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. October 2nd is a horrible day to release drugged butterflies into the world. The temperature of 50 degrees with 30-mile-per-hour winds. I'll tell you why we chose the butterflies closer to the end. Yeah, because they're gonna die, you fuckwit. Ah, the candle lighting has begun. I plant this torch in the name of España. The brown sugar sand was almost tasted by yours truly. Thankfully, I resisted the influence of idiocy incited by the hospice master, maniacal to martyr these monarchs. Jesus Christ, this lady is dumb. Jesus Christ would righteously lay waste to this ceremony like he took care of the bankers in the temple. Jesus Christ would also address the attempt of this church to appeal to the young persons with publicity posters, pouring with street slang and text speak. Let me get at you, Eleanor, about to Elohim. We step outside, and our drug butterflies are coming out of their chemical catatonia, thrust into the harsh October weather. I open my tiny envelope, and my butterfly is dead. I find another butterfly futilely flapping on a step. I gently coax it onto my notebook and find a branch on a less windy side of the building. As the butterfly takes its first flaps towards freedom, I step back and smile. It is finished. Yeah, that day was done. All right, so when Writing Nights was doing its regular poetry readings, we used to encourage people, like, if you get inspired, like, write. And so Zuggie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Zuggie saying that they had a poem for every different topic kind of made me, did not make, but like influenced this. So it's first draft a half hour or an hour ago. So
Hey, new shit.
brand new. So it's written kind of like steps. So I think that's what I'm going to call it, but it doesn't officially have to be. Alright. Just this side's better. Chains rasped his throat, wrapped his throat, his hands. Words wrapped his hands, racked his hands, his brain. Junk clouds his brain, fills his brain, his heart. Blood floods his heart, leaves his heart, his form. Pain twists his form, breaks his form, his mind. Clocks stretch his mind, warp his mind, his art. Fear stops his art, chokes his art, his throat. This last one, so I started this one. I got most of it written in like a day, and then I was like, I gotta finish it. I didn't know how to finish it, and I finally finished it once I got back into the States. So, it's another rhymer. You guys don't mind. Okay, called Apathetic Agony. Can I have the? Stop. Okay. Apathetic agony, ambition destroyed, a global pandemic no one could avoid. Trapped in a cage of my own volition, gripping the bars of controlling tradition, red sky at night, a delightful ruse, safety portrayed feels far from the truth. Left hand unaware of the right hand's sanctions leads them both to ignorant actions. A brain so raised in independence struggled against forced codependence. The world sees spikes on walls of progress, inside knows all mental regress. Cannot scream or express disquiet, powers that be destroy all riots. Not my country to aspire upheaval, can't even whisper against this evil. A lifetime sentence for the inmates born, death penalty dealt if DNA is torn. Self-incarcerated but cannot leave, the alternative awaits, trouble perceived. Also, my country on the slide into hell. Get out while you can, I want to yell. But abandoned ship is a coward's way out, and lasting departure puts my mind into doubt. Patriots destroy what made us great. Diversity, adaptability, thrown away, closing the country from expression of thought. Freedom of speech turns out that it's not. Now the color code that's leaving us all dead, shared by two enemies. I'm tired of red. I'm tired of painful, creative drought. I'm tired of not seeing a viable way out. Trapped without choice to relieve my stress, wrapped in choiceless loneliness. I lack one glint of hope, my apathy, to escape this entrapment, my agony. Thanks.
All right. Azriel Johnson. All right, so we're going to bring our feature back up here in just a minute. But two quick things and they're related. One, I need to change the battery in my camera. I'll never make it. Two, I baked cookies again today. And we're going to have Pastor Georgiana. Would you be willing to pass those around while I change the battery so I can't do two things at once? Cookies are entirely plant-based, so there is no animal products, as you may have guessed from the poem. I don't include them when I cook. Y'all make your own decisions, but I bring you cookies. Enjoy them if you're interested. They're chocolate chip. All right, we are going to finish up the night, and then you're welcome to hang and chat some more. I love the conversations that have been going around. I'm happy to hang and chat afterwards. But we have some more with our feature, and I want to spend some more time with you. What's that? Oh, I thought you were trying to whisper something to me.
Oh, no.
I'm just like, what do I need to know before I bring you back up? All right, awesome. So I'm really excited to bring Zuggie back up. I hope you are too. Please welcome back to the stage, Zuggie Tate.
All right, how's everybody feeling?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all stuck around. So, and for anybody who missed it, so what I was doing was like tonight I really wanted to, because we're in a very intimate setting, it's just be very conversational. So pieces like if you had words or thoughts that you wanted to hear a poem about, you could spit those out. So while you guys are thinking about those, or if you have any more,
Cardboard.
I got a poem for
You
that.
wanted to be challenged, so I'm throwing you out.
Okay, I feel like I have a poem for that. And then I was also like kind of paying attention to the open mic, so I also had some poems that came up based off of what people share. So I'm gonna do those too, but we're gonna see what Cardboard pulls up. I feel like I do have a poem,
All right.
but we'll see. It's like, okay.
No worries.
Okay, so no, this is. It's not like, because the other thing is like that I have to check really quick is like, because I also be editing people's stuff. So I was like looking like,
Is this mine?
Is this mine? Let me just make sure I'm not about to read somebody else's thing. Let me see. What's this? Okay. So, well, the poem that came to mind. So when you said cardboard, I immediately thought of like paper mache.
Yeah.
Is that?
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is because I thought about paper mache. I think about like the Three Little Pigs metaphor and the houses and building the house out of cardboard.
All right.
So tell me if you take this as a submission for cardboard or. Nobody move. There's blood all over the floor. I can't find my heart. Could have sworn I locked it away, tight and complete. An odyssey and an ocean between it and anyone. Cut off from the light, out of sight and out of reach. I thought my heart was done for. A dungeon in the game of love. Medusa menacing and Minotaur infested, but you set your ship upon the sea. An epic. A gigantic leap of faith arrived on my island, journey tired. The first time I constructed my heart was a straw and paper mache. Easily blown down, shredded into confetti feelings, each piece the color of regret, crimson and burning, swallowed, lesson learned, point taken. This time, I'll fortify my love in brick and mortar. Steel rebar bones form a cage. The cage will not break or bend to howling hands. A castle heart with skyscraping walls, tall and insurmountable. No lock, no key, just a gate that doesn't open on a heart that doesn't bend. And in their protection, I'll repair my fractured heart. using hot glue, gooey heat binding the pieces of me back together like a mother goose trying to gather her brood. I'll be rude, be a bitch about it, hold my repaired heart like a ball of fist and dare anyone to try and hurt me. But you saw my bombardments as a worthwhile challenge, an endeavor worth the feeling, saw the scars and metal stay away signs, saw a prize. Circled my compound 7 times in 7 days and watched as my battlements became small. My heart in your hand. I pray you squeeze. At least then I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'll take that as like you got me, because it's like it wasn't cardboard exactly, but it was like, you know, paper.
It's a good enough connection. I like how you pulled that in. It was a great poem too.
Make us laugh, Zuggie.
Niggas left. Okay, I will come back to that, but yeah. I'll end with the funny poem. All right. But so a couple things. So like one thing that I heard that made me think of a poem that my mom also did request, so it's funny. Was you said that you did Black's Museum. So I don't think we did the same year, but I did Black's Museum at East Cleveland, but I think it was like 2024. So it was like a year ago. But this is the poem that I did when I was there. This poem is entitled A Rainbow Poured Out, or The First Pride Was a Riot, or What Marsha P. Johnson Saw That Night. It had been raining watered down shots all night. An evening no different than any other in Greenwich Village. Stonewall Inn was a shitty mafia ran bar. Of course, there were better lakes and rivers around, but when you only had a few dollars in your pocket on a Saturday night, you might drink from a scummy pond. After the week I had, John's being stingy with my rates on Monday, police raids on Tuesday and Wednesday, a gay bashing on Thursday, Friday, I got fired from my job, so of course the weekend was going to be a riot. I was making my way down the street in my finest thrift store regalia. It had to have been sometime around 2 o'clock, a wrinkle before the witching hour, getting close to my wretched tepid water oasis. Trepidation began osmosing up my spine as I walked up behind a crowd of gay folks, but no one was going inside. Here's the scene. Police had a bunch of drag queens and trans girls pinned to the stone on the wall like a vicious chorus line, kicking and twisting them around. They were being especially rough with a butch woman I had seen out a couple times. I could still hear her thunderclap screams. Why ain't y'all doing anything? Rage had already been evaporating out of me all week, and now a storm cloud was forming around my head. Something electric took over me, and before my mind could catch up to my lightning hands, I was hurling wet garbage and a slurry of curses at these dirty-ass pigs, and before I knew it, my itchy fingers found a brick, and that brick found some glass. That night, I was amongst the gays, girls, and boys in drag, finally throwing shot glasses the fuck back. But it was the moment. A 2-inch crystalline cup hit a mirror behind the bar. Tiny prism shards thrown into the now still air that I saw it, catching the light just right. A rainbow poured out. I can't be the only one who saw this. It was spectacular. A promise that tomorrow might not be sunny, but it won't be raining like it had been all my life. That night, something grew inside me, watered by the vibrations of a riot. I think that something was pride. We didn't go quietly into the night this time, a sign. And no matter how much they try to oppress us, try as they might to keep us down, a rainbow is always waiting just on the other side.
Woo!
wanted to this because this poem kept coming up in my head on like earlier today on my way down here because I had forgot that I wrote it, but it was inspired. The other person was saying that they wrote a poem in June 30th of 2024. So this poem I wrote in not June 30th, not exactly, but I wrote this in June of 2024. And it had been laid on my heart, so I'm gonna do it. So the title of this poem is When You Can't Tell If You're Watching the 5th season of Supernatural or the Story of My Life. He ran in, didn't even put his purse down, smiled like he had a juicy secret. Remember the last time I said I loved you? I wasn't holding crossroad fingers behind my back. I was praying a warrior's prayer that you would never leave. When did I become so desperate for love? Was it when I believed the branch breaking was my downfall? No faith in myself to sparrow away, flying, oh little thing that is my heart. You've fallen and can't get up. There were 93 days of summer that year. 93 nights I spent stuck to a burning ceiling like I was possessed by a yellow-eyed demon watching as he took the only self I've ever birthed into this world. I discovered the kingdom of God that season. Learned that you can lead a horse to water and it refused to drink. That it's its right. You can show them paradise and they choose to walk away. Too, is that a right? For when they find out that heaven lies in sunlight and in a trans girl's arms, many will believe this is sin, unholy, filth, and deny themselves entry. Maybe their assessment is right. Or maybe they don't believe they deserve paradise. That acceptance has no place for them, that they will pillar into salt, that they are not sparrow enough to inherit the earth. Not everyone is promised heaven. But know this, if there is a hell, they put themselves in it all summer long.
Yeah.
So there was, I'm trying to think, because a lot of poems came up. So my entry for a funny poem. I like, being black and queer and gay and trans and everything. I really do love our culture, and one of the things that it made me think about is voguing. And so, because there's one poem my mom wants me to do that I'm just I don't feel like doing, but I was like,
why? You want to hear it? Don't you want to hear it, Steve?
All right, well, I'll let you hear the title. I'll let you hear the title of y'all can pick at the end. But this one is one that I don't think she has heard, but I think it's funny. So I'm just gonna do this one for y'all. So this poem is called "The 5 Elements of Vogue," and also for the nerds, the poetry nerds, this is a anthem. The 5 elements of Vogue are as follows: catwalk, duck walk, head performance, floor performance, spins and dips. No, Bethany, it is not a death drop. Ain't nobody dying here. While you may be gagged, bewildered, amazed, I can assure you, you will not die. We turn bar floors into runways, old battlefields into new playgrounds. No, Bethany, it is not a death drop. Ain't nobody dying here. Build your own pedestal. Have a seat. Construct a legacy out of blood, sweat, and years. We turned bar floors into runways, old battlefields into new playgrounds, wearing survival like it's fashionable. Duck walk to the beat of constant danger, build your own pedestal, have a seat, construct a legacy out of blood, sweat, and years. When life is a vicious when life is a vicious high wire, you better make your strut down that tightrope sickening, wearing survival like it's fashionable. Duck walk to the beat of constant danger, swing your hips like there are diamonds at the meeting of your thighs, make it look good out of spite. When life is a vicious high wire, you better make your strut down that tightrope sickening. The 5 elements of Vogue are as follows: catwalk, duck walk, hand performance, floor performance, spins and dips. Swing your hips like there are diamonds at the meeting of your thighs. Make it look good out of spite. And while you may be gagged, bewildered, amazed, I can assure you, you will not die.
Woo!
Alright, okay, I'm trying to think. Because there's all these poems that kept coming up that I wanted to touch on. Oh, so I think this poem is kind of funny. So we're gonna find out together, because so you did a poem of the Angry Cow poem, and so it made me think of this poem, and I hope that this is I feel like this is the wrong version. Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna just hope that this is the right version. Okay.
Our ears won't melt.
Alright, so here. We'll just see. I think this, we're gonna go through this together. But I wanted to try to do this one because it's an old piece, but I forgot about it. But it's a good one. So
Yeah.
if you consume a chicken, you must recognize that somebody killed it. Hung it 2 by its feet, cut, court, and packaged it in mass, cruel and impersonal, dark and damp, denied it a name, and relegated its body only into the parts that could be of use, that could be profited from. Threw away the brains, dropped a heart or two. Those things weren't fit for consumption. Heart and brain weren't of value, only breasts, legs, and thighs. It's honestly cute that made you nauseous. Made you sick of me, said you go vegetarian, know that you would go vegan. How you love life. That chicken would never cross the quarters of your tongue again until days later, when enough cognitive distance was created between that memory and your guilty ass conscience, because they've always said that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And it's true. Because he's so adept at consuming. You see, removing my name from your eyes, denying me substance, relegating my black body into the parts fit for your consumption, creating distance between desire and the act at hand, between you, between him and her and we, be the breasts and legs and thighs beckoning. Whoever thought you had to share this earth, that it could revolve for anyone other than you, that humanity of another could ever be respected. He who swallows whole, swallows me whole, cuts quarters and dissects me into the parts that you want. Cast away the parts of me I wanted to give. I wanted to give you my heart, to give you the sacred words and thoughts. But you cannot have part of me to spite the whole. I am a whole ass chicken. It's rough. Bear with me. Okay. I'm trying to make my way through the room. Okay. How many?
Oh, you're good.
Okay. I'm trying to remember people's poems because there is so many that I wanted to respond to. Okay, so I'll do this poem because you said a signature piece, and so this is kind of one of my signature pieces, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I haven't decided. decided if it's a curse or if it's a blessing yet.
Yeah.
But this is one of the pieces that I'm known for on the internet. This poem is addressed to the heteros. Or to the straight man who thought I was trying to turn him gay. Or to the straight parents, good Christians, who just like that straight man think that queerness is contagious. Well, I got news for you all. It is. Those little mannerisms you thought would turn into something, done turned into something. Them eyes you thought were staring at your dicks were staring. We did follow you into the bathroom. Got cool with your girlfriend. Sucked up every homophobic statement just to bring y'all to the rainbow side. You were right, straight people. You were absolutely right. There is definitely a gay agenda. We've been meeting in secret. Plotting for centuries. We organized. With our collective gay resources, honey, you should see the email chain. All this scheming just to suck dick. Yo dick. Specifically. Forget being safe. Or fighting for basic human rights. Or living out our truth. The truth is, we've been planning a pandemic. A faggotry. Queerness is a virus. But it's not that little one you're thinking about. This one is highly contagious. This is absolutely biological warfare. We sneezing and turning people gay. And we never wanted to be friends. Why befriend Bray? Why think of you as more than just another body to infect, a soul to defile? Baby, I wasn't born this way. I was turned. And I'm trying to turn people too. Each victim a victory for our non-straight empire. Call this whatever you want. But what you will know is that the queers are coming. We've been coming. Been here this whole time, perfecting our takeover. Call this the gay revolution or the pride to end all prides or the final push of the queers. Whatever you settle on, know that the day of reckoning is coming for all you straight motherfuckers. Because the first pride was a riot. But this last pride is gonna be a war, honey. That's purely satire. I have to clarify because some people don't think I be.
Somebody's out there like, I knew it.
Okay, I'm gonna see. I want one more.
Sure.
Okay, I'll do one more.
Don't sneeze.
Let me see. Okay, I was gonna go. So this is a poem. It's a weird poem to end on, but it's a poem that I wrote recently that I'm actually kind of proud of. So it's I consider it like my smartest poem, if that makes sense. Smartest, how can I say it? Or like the poem I did the most research to do. But this poem, it had. Okay, let me see. If it will. work with me. But this poem, I wrote it last year. But it has one of the most chunkiest titles I ever wrote. So I like that. But it's called When a Two-Spirited Indigenous Person Meets a Black Trans Woman, or I Can't Tell the Difference, or Jenna Ortega and Aubrey Plaza are the same goddamn person. Rooms full of fools talk about world politics like there isn't an elephant in the room. Like they can't feel her weight wafting side to side, as if they can't hear her low persistent growl. She has a word tattooed on her forehead and a ball gag in her mouth. The word reads America. Scratched out under it is the word genocide. And yet, there's another bound elephant. Her blindfold has been tied on too tight. She wants to read the names pimpled on her face, but was never taught how to read Braille. And yet, there's another elephant, on a pedestal this time, attempting to jump a fence on the 4th of July, but is too high up to realize she's actually falling off. Her prison plate says, inmate 300,084 and 1. The one before her says slavery. These three elephants become aware of each other. Feeling their way through the darkness, they form a sisterhood, find each other amongst a most fierce conversation as one leans to the other and tells the story of Topsy, the elephant. Born on the continent of Asia, she was brought to America near the turn of the century. When she passed by the Statue of Liberty, the copper goddess was only 13 years old. Topsy was from a poor place, and yet had never once met someone bigger than she. She settled on Coney's Island in Luna Park. She always wanted to be a showgirl, to have her name in lights, see crowded halls of adoring fans chanting her name, but she was accused of a crime she didn't commit. She loved to act, always hated wrestling other elephants, and yet here she was on trial against a mad scientist bent on world domination. They killed her though, recorded her electrocution for all her adoring fans to watch. The three elephants look at each other and wonder what's going to happen next, as they could tell the pre-dinner conversation was wrapping up. One of the fools asked, "How do you eat an elephant?" The other one answers, "One bite at a time." Thank you.
That's the elephant that got electrocuted by Westinghouse.
Thomas Edison.
Oh, Edison.
So Thomas Edison, yeah, because he was. Oh, Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, that was you showing Tesla that his AC was going to kill the elephant.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to show that
DC was safe.
The DC was safe. Yeah, Edison.
We're talking to high school physics teachers, so I exactly understood what you're talking about.
And other, because I'm from Cleveland, so one bit of history is that also Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla both started their first companies in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, the illuminating company was Nikola Tesla, and General Electric was Thomas Edison.
Yeah, but
All right.
I'll come back up with
That's an
anything else you want to say.
interesting
Feel free. How can we find you?
Okay, yeah. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Teach Me How to Zuggie. Also, I feel bad because I didn't ask the audience if there was any more last-minute words that anybody wanted. Did anybody have a word that they didn't get to ask me if they wanted to hear a poem about? I forgot to do it again. If anybody had one, if not, don't feel pressure to do it.
Presidents.
Presidents.
President.
President. I feel like, okay, so So, okay, this is okay. I guess this is where we're going. So when you say president, I just think, well, I'm an American. So this poem, I'm gonna just Let me see. This poem is called "Birth of a Nation." Let me see if I can get it. What just was up? Okay, let me see here. So this is, and I actually really like this poem. So I'm glad I get the ending. But it's I like the reclaiming of that title too. People who know the history of Birth of a Nation. America said God gave him guns, that he has a king's right to violence. As he slaughtered the native's child and fed the slave's baby to 1,000,000-celled beasts. But he shouts terrorists at every shaking fist which would dare speak. America calls himself righteous, called black folks heathens and hellbound, tries to bleed us out on the altar of his nightmarish dream to the gods of capital and racial vanity. Isn't it all ironic that the word revolution is blasphemous? Isn't it funny how they murdered a king and shot a prophet? America said God gave him bombs and called the rest of the world Gomorrah. He say his rule is divine and must be protected, as he prepares the world a blood sacrifice, massacring Middle Eastern and Latin lands, feasting on the resources carcass. Vanity and capital are thirsty gods, but America is happy to oblige. The caverns of their cathedral are constructed on a mechanism of bones and poplar wood. This industrial machine with the chimney spewing red into the air like a pulse. I was chained in those chambers, bound child of a slave, to capture ghosts who tried for escape. I attempted many times, but was caught in the seasoned jaws of my captor, liberating the only thing America's talents couldn't prey upon. The endless possibility of my dreams. Black people are the vein that refuses to bleed. We will rise like the sun god, and Yemanye like the ocean. We will soil American sullen prayer called silence with our pagan songs of change, as our ancestors did before. We will fight America on land and sea, from shining to shimmering shore. We will return the land to the hands that built it, and demolish America's church. And in the dust of old religion will rise new goddesses. Call them love and salvation. In the halls of their temples will worship us, a newly christened nation, with me, the author who wrote America's demise.
How y'all doing? Good. Have a good night? Yes. So glad you're all here. Appreciate you being out there. Give love verbally, but also in the pod here for our feature. Let's give it up for everyone who blessed the open mic. Really appreciate all the voices there. Give up for everybody's in the room. We need people on the mic and off the mic too, lifting up this space. Please give it up for the Rialto Theatre. Appreciate y'all so much. And last, certainly not least, please give it up one more time for our amazing feature, Zuggie Tate. Feel free to hang and chat a little bit. Feel free to take off. I know it's later on a weeknight. Some of y'all appreciate sticking around, but I'll be around a little bit too. Feel free to hang. Thanks for being here.